You are listening to KC Sports Network, the #1 podcast network for today's Kansas City sports fans. With former players from your favorite teams, informed perspectives, and former insiders, this is the place for you. KC Sports Network is proudly presented by Emprise Bank, your partner in possible.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the KCSN Defensive Film Breakdown, brought to you by Derrick Johnson's Defend the Dream Foundation. And I am here with the man after our sponsor's name, Derrick Johnson, and my good pal, Mike DeVito. Fellas, the defense is playing well. You're coming off of a dominating performance by both sides of the ball. You got to be feeling good this week going into Raider week, right?
Craig, this is and DJ can tell you all about this, but when you have a loss like you did to Indianapolis, that's a pivotal moment in the season because you lost to a crappy team. You're going on the road to play a very difficult team. How you bounce back is going to be key because if you lose 2 in a row, you're really trending in the bad direction. And that negative momentum gets going. It's hard to overcome that. And we saw that happen to the Chiefs a little bit last year. The way they came in there, put things together, and just got after it. Without Willie Gay, mind you, but obviously everybody, all 3 phases played great. So you know that, DJ, being one of the leaders on the team, I know you had to be more vocal and focused on guys when we had those tough losses to make sure, we were getting our heads right.
Absolutely. When you lose to a team where you're supposed to win, and you just, it's don't get me wrong, it is the NFL, but we should still have pulled off that win in Indy. But it happens, right? It's the NFL. But how do you bounce back? How do you keep your confidence during adversity? And the Chiefs do a great job at it, especially really good teams do a good job at bouncing back. And the Chiefs are luckily important enough for us. A really, really good team. And you saw, man, I'm sure they had that Tampa Bay game circled, man. A couple years ago, I still remember, man, they kind of got off on us in a Super Bowl and kind of had their way. And now it's kind of like Chiefs like, hey guys, no more of that. This is a new season, new guys. Same high character leaders we have on the team. I tell you what, and you're right, Mike. When you lose during that week, man, it's even more laser focused, trying to get back to the fundamentals. And man, the defense, man, I love it, man. Don't get me wrong, we got a high powered offense, but defense is killing it.
Killing it.
Yeah,
killing it.
It absolutely is. It's so much so we're only going to cover 3 plays today, but it's largely because the defense did such a good job up front, and the offense just blew it out. Like, it got to be very vanilla on the back end. Spagnuolo does that. That's fine. He's not doesn't want to reveal anything or anything like that. So let's just dive in here. We're going to start with the run game. Leonard Fournette on the day, 3 carries, -3 yards, and it's because of plays like this. George Karlaftis jumping the gap here. Guys, when you're playing against a gap scheme like this, you got guys pulling blockers and everything like that. Mike, obviously you're taught as a defensive lineman, tee off on that, cut that backside, and try and shoot that. That's what Karlaftis does here. Yeah,
no, I love it. And, Rex Ryan used to always tell us, if you're getting blocked by a tight end, you either beat him or hurt him, right? If you're a big guy up front, a tight end is trying to block him, you beat him or hurt him. And this is the way it should be. That tight end has no business. This is on the offensive coordinator. If you think that tight end is going to stop one of our big guys off the edge, the Greek freak, this is what's going to happen. It's going to be a 4-yard loss because it's such a mismatch. But sometimes you'll see, guys in this, especially these fast zone plays, slow up a little bit. But I like what you said, Craig. I mean, he just takes off, attacks the point, and boom. I mean, it's solid all the way across the board. I mean, I could talk about everybody on this one. Yeah. I mean,
absolutely, George. Just like Mike said, that's on the offensive coordinator. There's no way that you're lined up in the C gap and you're going to cut me off with a tight end. Not even possible. And at the end of the day, even though that's a great play in the meeting rooms, we're not even praising George about this. We're just like, hey, George, good job.
Yeah.
This is what you're supposed to do on this.
Exactly.
Right. It's just is what it is. Great job, tackle for loss. And we're putting them in 2nd and long or 3rd and long. But even if George doesn't get this play, everybody's doing a great job building the wall, taking on blocks, getting up and in as linebackers. And it was a hard day for the running game. It's just Man, this is what I'm telling you, man. This is awesome.
This is solid across the whole board.
Yeah,
look at Chris Jones
taking on. Yeah, Chris Jones doing a great
So let
job
me tell you something. So this 2-eye position that wait, I'm sorry. Where is he at? He's in like a 4-eye, wide 3, 4-eye. Sometimes these blocks can get a little weird. I guess he's in a wide 3 technique. But I like the way he played this. So can you run it? Let me just make sure I saw it correctly. Yeah, I like playing into the tackle. I think that's great. Look at the backer. So Chris, normally most coaches will tell you you're 67, the guard is going to be the guy that you're firing off and then you're throwing your hip into the tackle. I like playing into the tackle because it screws up how they're trying to get off to the next level, right? They're thinking double team, 76 gets off to the next level, 67 or whatever is on Chris. Here, Chris plays back into the tackle. Now watch how fast the backers can come over the top. Right. And they have there's nobody to get up to them. Both backers are over the top in the hole because Chris played back into that tackle.
This is why I love Mike DeVito. I'm telling you, it's just right. Look at how Nick is coming over. Nobody's messing with him because he has 2 blockers on him. 95 has 2 blockers on him. And when you play into that solid, that what do you say, that anchor guy? What do you call that guy?
The postman or whatever.
You play into that right there. It's just hard for somebody to come off, and 67 is having to get through because 95 is being Chris is being real thick on this double team.
Right.
He's just taking up 2 blockers and having us to just get up and in and just move fast. I mean, the linebackers look great on this play because of.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
look,
Leo Chanel's able to shoot in the backfield and take on a pulling tackle there. Yeah.
If Karlaftis doesn't get it, that backer gets it right there. If he doesn't get it, the backside backer gets it. So there's 3 people who have a TFL on that play because because the way they played up front. I mean, that was just spectacular.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah. So let's go to the next play here. Another run play here.
I love it.
Another tackle for loss from not from Leo Chanel, but on Leonard Fournette here. And what you're going to see is, once again, you're going to see a pulling blocker and Chris Jones knifing into the backfield. And it's the front side defense here doing a good job stacking and setting the edge. But it kind of starts with Chris Jones getting penetration in the backfield here and forcing everything to flow away from him.
Now, first off, and DJ, you know this. You know how hard it is to beat that back block on the center? I mean, it's like that is a hard, like that's the kind of stuff I used to do at Division one AA college level. Like I never was able to get that in the pros. I mean, he's able to split that back block. But right off the bat, this formation, I don't know if you can get back, Craig, to the actual formation.
Yes, sir.
I used to love when teams would line up in this. Look at this. There's one back deep, YY hard on the ball. There's only one place this play can go. It's a run, and it's got to go to that YY side.
Yes, so, either kick or what we call it, double, or
like a crunch
play. That's
it.
Or stretch maybe, but everything's to the right.
Exactly, and everybody plays that way. So, like again, we talked about this last time. The guys aren't just. So, like, when I was there, we had guys like Poe and Bailey. We had these guys that had incredible talent, and they didn't need to really look at back sets because Poe could just knock everybody. Like, same thing like Chris Jones. But you see here, these guys, incredible talent, but I can tell they know what's going on. Like, they're keyed into the formations, the tendencies. Like, I know a lot of guys I played with wouldn't even have realized that that's a YY to, and that the only way the run can go is to our left. But you can see these guys playing back into those blocks, knowing that that's where the run's going. And, this is fantastic.
Man, I love this. This is just, another great run play. Defensive line, we don't say enough about the defensive line. That's how you stop runs at the end of the day. If you can get guys penetrating and taking up blockers, and you got Nick and Harris just moving. They're just, nobody's touching them,
Right.
That's for a linebacker. I'm looking at this. I'm giving my defensive lineman pats on the butt.
Yeah.
And just like Mike said, going back to Chris, this guy never makes a play on the backside. Like nobody ever. Even if you run, they even teach you like let the guy run around. He's not gonna get to the play, but Chris is he's messing up everything right now.
Yeah, he really is. And I think that speaks to there's a whole bunch of advanced metrics that are just praising Chris Jones right now for good reason. Like, he's having an incredible season here, but I think that speaks to his ability, Mike. Be able to split this and affect the play on something like that. That's rare.
And I've said it before, he's like 100 feet tall, but he plays so low. Like, he keeps his shoulders down. When you have a guy that tall, that big, and that strong, but he can stay low, I mean, you're just not going to be able to block him. And another thing, I think last year we saw one of the difficulties of playing in Spags' defense is it's so much you're 100 miles an hour up the field. Playing the run game when you're 100 miles up the field is really difficult to do. And yet what I've seen from these guys this year that wasn't maybe the case last year is their run technique they've caught up with their run technique. So now they're still playing the way Spags has told them to play. But look, when I played the run, I mean, look at who's our two gapper here, right there.
We can kick to the end here. We got a nice clean one here.
Is that 90? Who's that?
That's 99. That's Colin Saunders.
Yep. Yeah, Saunders. Yeah. This is how I played every rep. Two gap, wide base. I took one little step off the ball, caught the guy. But I didn't get any penetration or anything like that. That's how I played football. These guys are 100 miles off the ball, and yet at the same time they're able to react and keep really good run technique. And that's just.
I want to add one more thing to this. This stuff is just coming through my mind. When Chris jumps into the shoots the gap like this, he cuts off every backside cut that running back can do. For us as linebackers, this is easy work for us. He can't cut back. This is he can't right now he's trying to run to the sideline right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So any kind of cutback, man, it is none and void. So
Harris doesn't have to worry about the A gap anymore. It's closed. It's over. You're not going to see that come. So he can free flow the way that they kind of have done here. And it's
DJ, you would have been where 32 is, right?
Absolutely, yes.
What are you looking at on this one? Because can I go back to right here? Where are you focused on, DJ? What are you looking at pre-snap?
Well, I'm focused on. I'm looking at the running back, and I'm feeling the guard. So I got a triangle, right? And then as soon as I feel this guard, I know anticipation. The ball is coming to my left. When I see this pull, I get my eyes to the double team because I know the double team. Somebody's gonna come off on this double team, and George is on this double team. So I gotta get slice onto this double team. Hopefully this tight end doesn't get in my way. If he does, I will go over top. But then eventually I would get up and in and try to miss this. That's exactly what Nick's doing, by the way.
Okay, that's what you're doing. So you're slowly working your way out, watching how the blocks develop.
Yep.
So and that's interesting. I didn't even realize that. You're watching the back and feeling how the offensive. So your eyes are on the back, and you're feeling how the offensive line is going.
Because that's just as an inside backer for young inside backers. Anybody wants to know about what do you key? You always, especially in dot back situations, you always look at the running back and you go off of his movement, but the lineman can pull you out of it. Depending on if it's some kind of counter or something, you'll feel it too. You'll feel it, but you definitely have to look at the running back and feel the lineman.
It's so interesting because on the D line, you're doing the exact opposite. I'm not looking to the running back until I know exactly.
You can't see.
Yeah, right. I feel what the offensive line is doing, and then I react to where I think the back is going based on the blocks. Yeah, that's cool.
Want to highlight the two rookies on the edge here, Leo Chanel, George Karlaftis, stacking both of those tight ends, stringing it along, allowing those guys to make these plays. I
don't know how the hell these rookies are playing.
This level,
this early. I just had I was thinking about it the other day on talking on the podcast we do with Jeff Allen. I had 30 double sessions going into the regular season. I had 4 preseason games. I just had so many more reps. The OTAs was, I was on there 10 to 12 hours a day during OTAs. these guys have like 10 minutes to figure this stuff out, and then so it's just like I don't know how they're picking it up so fast. I mean, they look
It just
like
speaks to the character.
vets.
It
You're
really does speak to the character.
You said rookies, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You know, they just look so polished.
I think we got to give our credit to the coaching staff. I think.
Yeah, no doubt. That's hard. I don't even know how you do it. I really don't know how you do it.
All right. Last play that we got here, arguably the most pivotal play on defense here. It's a L'Jarius Sneed's strip sack here, but it's not just him. Now, he's a smart player, talked about after the game how he wanted to make sure that, because Tom Brady was calling out a blitz that he was going to do earlier when he was trying to disguise it, wasn't able to. So this one, he started fidgeting with his gloves a little bit, fidgeting with his helmet, make it look like he was playing around a little bit. And so Tom Brady thought he wasn't coming, so he was able to tuck in behind there, get this blitz off. A great job blitzing here. But I want to highlight George Karlaftis coming out here, picking up this guy, leaking out into the flat, and also Nick Bolton getting in the throwing lane. These two guys help Tom Brady from throwing this ball quickly. And just an exceptional team job. L'Jarius Sneed's going to get all the praise in the world, and he should. But a great job by these two players on the front side here to make sure that they take away the throwing lane and prevent Tom Brady from getting the ball out as quick as he wants to.
Well, Sneed, I'll tell you what, Sneed did a great job by getting a sack strip fumble, but I definitely have to give the praise to George and the cornerback on this side, because Tom Brady has seen every kind of blitz, and he never blitzed him just because he get the ball out quick.
Right.
He's so smart. Don't get me wrong. He maybe didn't see Sneed or whatever, but he knew something was going right. So he's like, let me throw, let me get out of this, and we clamp down really quick on that out route. I mean that's a covered sack, and big part of us winning the game and just kind of shutting them out early.
Yeah, Craig, you brought up a great point. I played Tom Brady 13 times in my career, so I have a lot of experience and of losing too against him. But if
you and everybody else, Mike.
Yeah, if you look, he's looking. So you brought up how Sneed's fidgeting with his gloves and his. That's really when he's diagnosing a defense. He's looking at where the defensive line's hands are. Are they on their hip? Are they down? Where, who's doing? He's studied the film so much that he's looking at. He can get from the littlest details. He can tell what's going to happen. And so that's really a vet move by Sneed to know, because he knows that, to adjust, do stuff like that. Adjust your gloves. Do something that you would normally do if you were going to be out in coverage. And I can guarantee you that made this. We talk about obviously Karlaftis going into coverage. That's insane too. But I guarantee you. He said that. I want to stress how important that is, and how I could bet money that's what freed up this, just that little thing that he played with his gloves and did something that he normally wouldn't do on a blitz, freed him up. I guarantee you that tricked Tom.
You know what? That's so true. It's so. Now I'm thinking about it. It's flat. I got so many flashbacks coming back. There's so many so many things, body language that we do on the field that we don't even know when we're about to blitz, when we're not about to blitz, and certain things. And guess what? The greatest quarterback ever, Tom Brady, knows that. It's like, hey, I know when you're blitzing, I know when you're faking, and you have to change it up sometimes. You gotta be the best disguiser at the end of the day when you play against Tom, and Sneed did a great job right here. I mean, he's a young guy, he's still learning, but just this right here worked, man. And all you need is that 1 second, right? You need just to get an edge. It's a game of inches, and this definitely panned out for us.
Let me tell you a story. You see how Frank, you see the left end there?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Look at him in his stance. If you go back and look at him in his stance.
We got an end zone view here coming up here, and you can really see the stance here.
Gotta tell you something. Okay, you see him right there? So he's got his left hand on his hip, like on his thigh. We would run these blitzes when I was with the Jets, these odd fronts, and I would be a big end, and I'd be jamming inside. And I never realized this, but every time I would play just a regular 2-gap end, my hand would be free. when I was jamming inside, I would put my hand where Frank puts his hand, and it would like just to remind, like mentally to get me to think I'm going inside. I guarantee you that son of a bitch saw it because he picked up our blitzes all the time, and I guarantee you I was the key. And that's why I know.
We hear from it all the time that like there's key. Oh, we saw something on offense. We saw something like it's stuff like that. You see the offensive linemen got their hand, in specific area. DJ, you're shaking your head. You got one that jumps to mind here?
Absolutely. The offensive linemen, they give it away all the time. Now I'm looking at now, and you know this, Mike. When it's a pass, obviously it's a empty set right here. But when it's a pass, when it's 11 personnel or whatever, we know it's a pass because usually a lot of offensive tackles put that back foot way back, and you like that they really trying to kick back and get a good set.
Yeah,
and they'll have that heel down when it's a run. You're like, oh, this may be a run or play.
You were great, DJ. That just sparked my memory. You were fantastic at that.
Tell everybody.
And you would tell everybody.
Yeah.
Wow, there were times I couldn't believe you figured it out. Man, you keyed on that. I don't know how you balanced the 1,000 things you got to do and to remind everybody, hey, the tackle's heel is down. I forgot all about that. That made such a difference. Yeah, that was huge.
It's the little things. It's the little and that's why I like talking to you guys about this stuff. It's stuff like that people don't understand that are part of the game. Like they watch it, they look at the defense playing as well as they are, as we showed in those 3 clips there, and everybody's rallying to the ball, building the wall, good blitz, everything like that. It's little stuff like that that's fun to listen to you guys talk about. All right, Raider week this week. It's a big deal. I mean, we did at least one of these last year before this. How do you get up for it? Monday Night Football, Raider week. I mean, like it all coalesces into one big thing. It's hard not to get up for this, right?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Monday Night Football, you're the only show in town, right? That's what everybody's tuning in to watch Monday night. So I think this is a lot different than the Indy one. You're not going to come out flat on Monday Night Football. Very rare, especially a team like this isn't going to come out flat on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, not at home either. I mean,
that's right.
we play well at home, and we having a good season like we're doing. With the Raiders struggling a bit, Chargers struggling a bit, Broncos struggling a bit. Even though preseason predictions, we got the toughest division, which by roster we probably do. But at the end of the day, it's about putting it all together, and Chiefs are pretty good at putting it all together. And I think we'll show everybody who's the top of the division for the last, I don't know how many years. Who's the big dog?
I retired after the 2015 season. Every season since, they've won the AFC West. I'm like,
you're a rabbit's foot, Mike. You're a rabbit's foot, buddy. Yeah. All right.
Craig, this is great. Thanks, Craig. This is fun. This is fun. Thank you. I really enjoy this.
Hey, I appreciate you guys joining me. I appreciate everybody else for watching this. Like, share, subscribe. Click the link down there. Donate to the Derrick Johnson Defend the Dream Foundation. We will be back next week to help break down the Raiders. Be kind to each other, and we'll catch you later.